Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares has issued a stark warning. The shift to electric vehicles, EVs, is putting immense pressure on auto suppliers. As Western automakers scramble to cut costs and compete with their Chinese counterparts, they're faced with a tough challenge. EVs cost 40% to 50% more to produce than petrol models, yet they must be sold at the same price. This means drastic cost-cutting across every aspect of their operations, from supply chains to logistics. Curious about how this battle is reshaping the auto industry? Stay tuned. You are going to see a huge shift to the supplier base. The sourcing will move from the Western world to the best-cost countries, he said during the Bernstein Strategic Decisions conference. The EV race has become a cost-cutting race, he added. Tavares, the head of a company whose brands include Fiat and Peugeot, said the EV transition was being held back by affordability, with customers reluctant to buy expensive EVs unless supported by governments through incentives. Are EVs a scam? Gas-powered cars are being phased out, while EVs could become up to 40% more expensive. Tavares issued a stark warning against the EV agenda, suggesting it could devastate the middle class. EVs may not be the future we all anticipated, and the reasons behind this might surprise you. We need to replace 3 billion cars to achieve clean mobility, but does the Earth even have enough lithium for that? Why are governments worldwide pushing EVs by banning combustion engines? Tavares made a significant admission that could change your perspective on the electric vehicle push. His warning could chill the very batteries that power popular EV brands like Tesla and Rivian. At Stellantis' first annual Freedom of Mobility Forum, Tavares revealed that resource scarcity, particularly lithium, threatens the entire EV industry. The upcoming US presidential and European parliamentary elections could significantly impact EV adoption rates. The Biden administration aims to substantially reduce fuel consumption by 2035, but Tavares suggests that a change in political leadership, such as the return of former President Trump or another Republican, might slow down these plans. This shift would directly affect consumers already burdened by the high cost of EVs, expensive insurance, and substantial repair expenses. Major automakers are either halting production or delaying EV launches, with Jeep itself lacking strong EV options. Tavares suggests a potential collaboration between the government and automakers to push the EV agenda. The Biden administration aims for 60% of all vehicle sales to be electric by 2030, but Tavares raises concerns about the heavy reliance on China for battery supplies, questioning the sustainability of this approach. With 1.3 billion internal combustion engine vehicles currently in use, Tavares argues that replacing them with EVs is not only monumental, but potentially impossible. Stellantis has invested over $35.5 billion in plug-in models through 2025 and is partnering with Samsung to build their first EV battery factory. However, these plans depend on the availability of raw materials. Elon Musk and Rivian's RJ Scaringe have expressed concerns about the looming scarcity of critical materials like lithium, nickel, graphite, and cobalt. While the world may have sufficient resources, extracting them is a bureaucratic and logistical nightmare, complicated by red tape and geopolitical tensions. Tavares warned that the European Union's combustion ban might be more disastrous than anticipated. He suggested it could lead to increased greenhouse gas emissions due to inefficient use of limited lithium resources. Germany recently voted down the combustion ban, advocating for allowances for future green fuels. If Europe and some US states ban all combustion engines, the cost of EVs, already 40% higher than internal combustion vehicles, could rise even further. Mercedes-Benz's CEO echoed this concern, highlighting the need for a better supply chain to avoid escalating prices. As an alternative, Tavares suggested requiring new vehicles to have at least 30 miles of zero-emissions range, a more affordable and efficient solution given that 90% of all drives are under 30 miles. He also pointed out the need for EVs to travel 400 miles on a charge to eliminate range anxiety. Tavares revealed that producing EVs costs 40% more than internal combustion cars, a cost that cannot simply be passed on to consumers without losing half the customer base. This implies that the dream of affordable EVs for the average consumer could be an illusion. Tavares also highlighted the weight issue, noting that achieving a 400-mile range adds 1,000 pounds compared to a similar internal combustion vehicle, which is unsustainable. He proposed a pragmatic solution, replacing cars older than 15 years with modern equivalents, possibly with mild hybrid technology to reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 50% on average. Despite Tesla founder Elon Musk's entrepreneurial brilliance and substantial government subsidies supporting EVs, consumers still prefer the convenience of a quick gas station fill-up over retrofitting their garages and dealing with range anxiety from hunting for a charging station, which are often located in inconvenient places like abandoned shopping malls. JD Power reports that 21% of public chargers don't work, adding to the frustration. As customers shy away from EVs, the impact will be felt beyond the car industry, affecting US-China relations, state budgets, and commodity prices. Evidence of this shift is emerging quickly. Hertz, which bought 100,000 Teslas in 2021 to much fanfare, has reversed course, selling off one-third of its EV fleet and taking a $245 million hit to its earnings. Its commitment to buy 175,000 EVs from GM also seems unlikely to be fulfilled. Outside wealthy and trendy areas, consumers are bypassing plug-in EVs in favor of hybrids and gasoline-powered cars. In the fourth quarter of 2023, EV sales increased by only 1.3%. According to Edmunds, EVs remain on dealer lots about 3 weeks longer than gasoline cars, with Mercedes-Benz EQS units sitting unsold for up to 4 months. Mercedes CFO admitted that the EV market is a pretty brutal space. Despite a price war where Ford, Tesla, and GM slashed EV prices by an average of 20%, consumers are still hesitant, leading Ford to lose $36,000 on each EV sold. Meanwhile, state governments continue to heavily subsidize EVs despite their own budget crises. California still offers $7,000 for each new EV on top of the $7,500 federal credit, even as it faces a record $68 billion budget deficit. New Jersey provides a $4,000 check to EV buyers despite declining revenues. The sustainability of these subsidies is questionable. Toyota, which focused on hybrids instead of EVs, now appears to have made the right bet. Over the past year, Toyota's share price has outperformed GM's by 40%. Toyota chairman Akio Toyoda declared last October that people are finally seeing reality, a sentiment likely shared by automobile unions, given that EVs require significantly fewer parts and labor hours to manufacture. None of this diminishes the ingenuity of EV engineers and designers. EVs, often dismissed in the past, have been proven to be technologically advanced, with capabilities like self-parking and high performance. Musk's achievements with Tesla, SpaceX, and even controversial market maneuvers are notable. However, EVs face significant challenges beyond consumer preferences and infrastructure issues, such as an unreliable electrical grid. The U.S. Energy Information Administration reports that from 2013 to 2021, the average duration of power outages doubled, raising concerns about the reliability of tying mobility to a potentially unstable grid. Globally, the situation is similar. China's BYD, which sold 3 million EVs last year compared to Tesla's 1.8 million, faces challenges from a shaky Chinese economy dependent on weaker U.S. sales. China's significant investments in battery production and mineral extraction in countries like Zimbabwe and the Democratic Republic of the Congo are at risk if commodity prices decline. Stellantis' CEO has been critical of climate change policies that he sees as being used to manipulate global trade, with countries like the US and China offering substantial subsidies to promote clean technologies and EVs. He questioned whether these policies are setting the stage for a global trade war under the pretext of combating climate change. Tavares' skepticism is supported by the struggles of other automakers like General Motors, Ford, Hyundai, and Rivian, who face high battery material costs and new EV tax credit requirements that complicate their plans. The middle class is at risk of being priced out of the EV market if automakers cannot absorb the additional production costs. According to Tavares, the ideal price for affordable EVs is around $25,000. If subsidies are the only way to make EVs affordable, what happens when they are withdrawn? The middle class could be excluded from personal mobility. Stellantis is in a precarious position, even with its relatively conservative strategy compared to other Detroit automakers. Its full-size electric pickup, the Ram 1500 REV, will come with a gasoline-fueled range extender, highlighting the company's challenges with full electrification. Despite a significant drop in EV battery costs, the starting prices for EVs remain high. Jeep, known for its rugged off-road vehicles, is also struggling with market dynamics despite its commitment to electrification. Sales for Jeep and Ram trucks have declined, partly due to strategic decisions to reposition Jeep as a luxury brand, leading to substantial price increases. This strategy, combined with quality control issues and safety recalls, is alienating Jeep's middle-class customer base. The high cost of EVs, including the electric Ford F-150 Lightning, which starts significantly higher than its gas-powered counterpart, further complicates the market. Brands need to understand consumer needs and avoid pricing their vehicles out of reach while including impractical features. These revelations raise critical questions about the future of EVs. If EV production costs are indeed 40% higher and cannot be passed on to consumers, what does this mean for the future of personal transportation? Are we facing a mobility crisis that could see the middle class priced out? Most alarmingly, are the policies designed to save the planet potentially doing more harm than good? The answers to these questions will shape our collective future. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content.